We're 4 rounds in, and tonight we have a top-of-the-table clash between two unbeaten sides. Munster atop, courtesy of last week's 4-try bonus point victory against the Blues. The Scarlets are just a point behind. It is first versus second. A win for the Scarlets tonight would not only return them to the top, but would equal their longest ever unbeaten run in the league. Well, Sean Holley is in our analysis truck for us, as always, this evening. And Sean, you were actually commentating on the Scarlets' victory over Leinster here last week. We were all in awe of the Scarlets' attacking play and the way their backs seem to be playing with such width and ambition. And Stephen Jones, who we've seen doing the drills out here tonight, is the man behind that.
Yeah, and Wayne Pivac, Ross, and it's not just the backs, you know, the back row, the front five, they all have this ball carrying ability, and they're playing with some width. Regan King and DTH van der Merwe will get the plaudits, yes, but I want you to take a look at some of the back row play. Here's number 7, James Davis, in the wide channel with John Barkley, the 8. They're holding their width in that 15-metre channel. Again, here's Alan Shingler. They'll miss him tonight. Lewis Rawlins in tonight, but he's acting as a playmaker at first receiver, and here again at second receiver. But look where 7 and 8 are holding that width and that 15-metre channel. They use 2 forwards to go behind you, but just look at the proximity of 6, 8 and 7, again holding their width, linked together, and a fine try last week in great conditions. It's not those conditions tonight, a bit greasy, but they have alternatives. This time they go between 6 and 7 as decoys with Regan King as a second receiver, and this is something to behold. Look, Pete Edwards, the props, and the other prop, Rob Evans, was involved a lot last week, and of course the great finish in the hands of the back. So I'll be looking for more of that width tonight, Ross. Can they do it in the conditions against a tough Munster team?
Big question, Sean. Very difficult conditions here this evening.
Playing skills from Conway.
Yeah, that's all that.
Well, if the arm is on the ball on the floor, it's a try. If the ball squirts away, if he's knocked it on the arm, then it's obviously not. Yeah. But it's the first reading from John Mason, and that's the one that's going down in the book.
I think he's got to give him it or not give it, to be honest, and that's when it comes down to one person's interpretation.
There's no such thing as downward pressure. That's a myth. We'll see what Sean says then from the truck. Sean.
Yeah, contentious one, Charlo, but law 22.1b, sorry to be a bit stato about this, but player pressing down the ball. A player grounds the ball when it is on the ground in goal, and the player presses down on it with hand or hands, arm or arms, or the front of the player's body from waist to neck. So,
do you think he scored? Do you think he scored?
Right. Yeah, unfortunately, a law, Jeff.
Let's bring Sean in, and when you're living off scraps, Sean, it's always difficult to get a foothold in the game, and the reason the Scarlets are living off scraps is because their set piece, both scrum and line-out, is malfunctioning at the moment.
Yeah, Ken Owen's back, Samson Lee, they're having it all their own way, Ross. You have to work your way back into club rugby, don't you? But yeah, their line-out and scrum has struggled a little bit, and in these conditions you need it. Now, if you read Scarlets, do your homework, you know that they throw to the front a lot. Munster very, very good at putting perceived pressure. Here, they give them the front, and they think they can take it with Jake Ball, but then they squeeze it up with Copeland and they disrupt the ball. It's been happening all of the first half, and it's been a real concern for Wayne Pivac in half-time. You see they've shortened the line out, and the good work of Chisholm and Copeland is just disrupting that area. Now in the scrum, I'm not so sure how legal Kilcoyne is. There's a baggy shirt on Samson Lee. He needs to get that skin tight, but it seems to be that he's pulling down. I'm no expert in this area, but I've been in enough scrum meetings. The key is in his elbow. Look how his elbow is lower than Samson's, and he's pulling it down. Samson's a bit long in the leg in these scrums, but having said that, is the referee watching the Munster loose head? Samson's getting frustrated in this area. You can see the last scrum of the half. He'll just get up. He's had enough of this now in the first half. I'm sure Pivac and Samson will be having a little word with the touch judges and the referee, but it's something they need to sort out for the second half to get into this game, Ross.
Thank you, Sean. Let's bring Sean in, because before that, Sean, the Scarlets scored what would have been the try of the season by some distance had they not just knocked on over the line.
Well, I highlighted at the top of the show, didn't I, how expansive they were playing. But tonight, with the kicking game and the conditions, it's probably from turnover or kick receipt that you're going to get the best chances. And this is where this chance came from in the first half. Munster are going to box kick here, so that means the majority of their players are congregated. We call this in coaching honeypotting, and they just honeypot a little bit too much. Gareth Owen's block or escort there is fantastic, and DTH van der Merwe, this is what he's for. I want you to watch James Davis, like a good open side tracking on the inside. Aled Thomas as well, but this is sublime from Regan King. Lovely on the inside. There's the James Davis, and you know, we saw Gareth Davis picking it up in the World Cup from there against England, and Steve Shingler head in hands. is really going to regret that. But, you know, again, they've got to come alive on turnover and kick receipt this second half.
Thank you, Sean.